7th graders, Mr. Allard, for whatever reason, the screen record or the webcam is not working here on the big board. But I just wanted to do a real quick kind of video lesson to kind of help you guys with the beginning of your math project. Okay. So most of you are going to be in the classroom with this. I am not going to be here in the class. So I'm going to make this video, post it on Schoology. Hopefully you guys can make some sense of it. If not, we will have time next week built in our schedules to kind of fix this while we're going over some stuff. Okay? So you should have a copy of this at home with your person. If you are in the class today, you will get one. If you are at home, you should have gotten one on Tuesday. And if you're a remote student, you should have gotten one. You could have had your parents come and pick one up at the school. If you didn't, all right, and you are a fully remote student, you can click on this option 2 and do the video project. This is part 1 of the video project. We'll do another part on Tuesday. If you are a student who's going to be in the classroom on Tuesday, I do not want you doing this project. You're going to be doing the math project. So you could work on, if you do not have your math project, you could get some makeup work done. Just go through your folders and check through your work there. But most of you are going to have this copy. Your directions, if you do not have your directions at home, are located here and here. I'm going to click on these directions. The only thing that's different between these two directions here is in this direction it uses some abbreviation. So if you know yourself, if you know you struggle to write small or write neat, you might want to use the diff directions down here. If you know you can handle that, you may want to use your directions down here. All right. But I'm going to click on this math project. It's going to look a little bit different than what you guys would see in your class because, you know, let's face it, it's going to be kind of sideways and things like that. But we'll do our best. All right. Let me scroll down so we get to our. Hopefully I can draw on this. So first thing we want to do is we want to create our key. Now in the classroom or in the or at home, I told you want to make sure that you have check. All right. So you want to make sure you have that. Let me double check I can get my pen up here. Alright, so hopefully now this will work with my pen here. So let me bring this up. If not, I'll try to talk through it. It'll just be a little bit tough. You're going to pick 2 colored pencils. When you pick those colored pencils, what I would do is make sure they're different enough. I'm going to choose a red. Alright? I'm going to draw a straight. Oops, I got to make sure I got my drawer function on. I'm going to draw a straight line for my British. And then I'm going to keep the same color for my battle symbol. Okay? Now it's important that I color in that battle symbol. It's also important that I make sure that line is straight, okay, and it's filled in. Now I'm going to pick another color that is different enough that I can tell the difference between these two. So now I'm going to go, I'm going to pick, for me, I'm going to pick a blue. Now this is a dotted line, so I am going to make sure that this is a dotted line, okay. Do not fill it in. You will get points off for that. I'm going to go to my American victory symbol, and I am going to color this in. Okay. So now I have my math key filled out. You're going to want to also have a pencil with you. So I am going to then take and put my name right above that key in pencil. Colored pencils are called colored pencils for a reason. They're good for writing or good for coloring. They're not really all that great for writing, especially if you're using your red colored pencil to write stuff about the Americans. It's going to get very confusing. So try to use a pencil. We've got extra pencils in the room. There's pencil sharpeners in the room. Or if you're at home, use a pencil. I would not use a pen just in case you need to erase. All right. So now I'm going to scroll up. I've got a copy of the directions with me. Now the difference between the green and the white sheets, all right, are that the green sheets just have abbreviations. So when I go over the directions, I have a white sheet in front of me. Instead of writing April 1775, people with the green sheets, you would just write LC next to that. That's really the only difference, okay? So I scroll up on my map. I'm going to keep my kind of chart down there a little bit so you can kind of see it. Make sure this loads. All right. I know it gets a little confuzzling down there. But step one, it's going to be very, very important for you to follow specific steps, okay? It says Lexington and Concord. On the map, trace arrow 1, British, from Boston to Lexington and Concord. Now notice it also says arrow 1. So on my map, I can find things a bunch of different ways. It's going to tell me where it is. It's going to give me a location. Also, it's going to say arrow 1. All right. It's going to give you the name, so you can find that way. I've got my British colored pencil in my hand, which is red. I found number 1 there, so I am going to write number 1 just like that. It's a filled in line because it's a British troop movement. Okay, that's my line. Number 2, it says print April 1775 next to Lexington and Concord. So I'm going to grab my pencil, which for me is black. It's probably really hard to write April 1776, April 1775, really close to Lexington and Concord. So I'm going to take my arrow from kind of the Boston area, and I'm going to draw my line out like that, and I am going to write April 1775 out there. Or if I was using my green sheet, I would write LC. You don't have to do both, okay? Doesn't matter really where I put it. I could have put it way out in this area as long as I have it connected to either Lexington and Concord, Boston area, something along those lines, okay? Because you're probably not going to fit that there. Now, for some other stuff, you may be able to fit it in. Here's a little bit crowded, so you might want to go through and do that. Step 3, color the battle symbol to represent an American victory. So now I go to my American colored pencil, which is blue, and I'm going to color in that battle symbol blue like so. Okay. Now that my Battle of Lexington and Concord is done. You could do a couple things with your pencil as you cross off the steps as you go. So if I did number 1, cross it off. Do number 2, cross it off. Do number 3, cross it off. And then possibly even go all the way and cross off the entire battle so I know that I'm done there. Then I could jump down to Bunker Hill. Okay, I'm going to do both of these with you. So Bunker Hill, it says print June 1775 next to Bunker Hill. Well, same thing. Going to grab my pencil. Right now, my area I might want to go to from Bunker Hill, make sure I got my line connected, and I can put June 1775 over in this area like so. Okay. There's no troop movement in this one. I've got it connected to Bunker Hill. It says color the battle symbol to represent a British victory. So I go in and I color it red. Now some of you might want to go ahead and I'm going to draw on all my battle lines. Don't do that. Step by step by step. Trust me, you're going to leave something off because when I grade this, I look, is the arrow colored correctly? Is the battle symbol colored correctly? Is it labeled for every single battle? So if you do not label your lines, you are probably only going to get like a 65 on this assignment. Okay? So be sure to follow directions. Some kind of areas that have been confusing for students, make sure to read your directions thoroughly. It may give you more than one direction. For example, in the invasion of Canada, it says next to Forts Ticonderoga and Crown Point, color the battle symbols that represent American victories, and print 1775. So those battles happened to the same year. They were also American victories. Another one that constantly confuses 7th graders is this: for New York City, color the battle symbol to represent the British victories at Long Island, New York, and White Plains. So this down here for New York, right, there's one battle symbol, but there's 3 battles there. So they all represent British victories, okay? If you are confuzzled by this, don't worry. We're going to have some time on Tuesday to finish this up. If you should finish, put your map, fold it, make sure your name is on it, and you can put it in the hand and bin in the front of the room. I will go through. If it's really, really off, I'll have you redo it in class on Tuesday, okay? If you have any questions, guys, as always, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to make it in class on Friday. Send me a message on Schoology, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. All right? Thank you, guys. As always, Allard out.